Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to another professional match of StarCraft 2. Now what I got for you today is a much requested match from WCS Montreal. I have no idea what happens in this game, but from what I've heard, apparently this game is absolutely nuts. So I'm excited for it already. We'll figure out together why this game is so hyped, but regardless, let's get started by introducing the players. Spawning here in the top right hand corner of Cerulean 4 LE and playing with the blue Protoss probes. Some call this man the god of cheese, but what makes him so very scary in my opinion is that he's very good at playing macro as well. We have none other than Haas, and already he's sending out a probe to the other side of the map towards this nice little tucked away corner, and he's putting up a pylon. And his opponent, spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, he's playing with the red Terran SCVs. I recently covered this man in a game that he played against Tavano. Very, very impressive Terran player. If you missed that game, I'll go ahead and link it down below the like button in the description of the video. He's from China. We have none other than Time. Oh man, so it's gonna be a gateway proxy here for our Protoss player. He's obviously gonna have to go for that cybernetics core as a follow-up. There we go, cybercore will go up. I'm assuming that this is gonna be mostly just a little bit of pressure. Here's the thing, right? Haas is really good at playing really aggressive. However, he's also good at following it up with macro. A lot of players that cheese a lot aren't very good at playing the macro game, but Haas is legit good when it comes to just simply making a lot of units. Now, Time is sending out an SCV, but there's no way he's gonna scout that right now. He did decide to go for the command center on the low ground. Obviously, a bit of a ballsy move after your gas gets stolen against a player like Haas. Obviously, if that command center does not go up, he's gonna be in a world of hurt. Now, Time scouting out where that probe went, but the probe, oh man, just barely misses it right there as well. But here we go. The first Stalker is being chrono boosted out. Zealot is moving across the map, and another Stalker will be coming across as well as soon as this one finishes too. Now, Time, he's still scouting. He's so close to finding it, but at this point, he does not know what's going on. He knows that his opponent is very well known to go for a lot of cheese, but here we go. The probe actually turned back around as well. They're going to immediately be able to pick up the SCV that's building that bunker. Beautiful target firing right here as well on that SCV that's building the command center, but it's all about these Marines right now. Can Haas deal enough damage right here to these units and then maybe even close out the game? I guess only time will tell. Wow, pun intended. Regardless, the Zealot is now here as well. These Marines are taking a lot of damage already. Now, a lot of SCVs were pulled off the line too. Zealot actually gonna provide a lot of additional damage here too. It's gonna be able to tank a lot of those shots too, and great micros so far by our Protoss player. He did not lose anything just yet other than that little probe. Ooh, gotta be careful though. A little bit of move commanding right there. It is gonna hurt, but 6 SCVs go down in total. And I think this is sort of where the aggression will get shut down. I don't really see exactly how either player can really continue the pressure here. But for Time, it's really important that he got that command center up, and he did. Right? That's really critical. Now he's got that Cyclone out too. The Cyclone obviously really good at being just a defensive unit. Beautiful target firing right there by Time actually. He manages to shut down that weakened Stalker. And I think that the aggression will indeed be shut down here. But in the meantime, right, Haas has been transitioning towards that Nexus on the low ground as well as a Stargate. And this is where I feel like this man shines. Haas, like a lot of players play weird strategies from time to time, right? The thing is, Haas probably plays like a dozen or maybe even 2 dozen of these games every single day. He's really good at playing the games that are unorthodox, where they get into a position where maybe the Terran player is not very comfortable. Haas has played this position 1,000 times. He knows exactly what to do. It's just a matter of practice, right? And that's where I feel like Haas is really good. He plays really aggressive, but with that he gets to decide the pace of the game. And because he's really good at following it up with macro, and he knows how much economy and whatnot he can get away with, he's really good at just simply judging the position of the match. So already this is really nice, right? He gets to be the one that's in control of this game. Now obviously, Time didn't really lose anything critical here either, but he is the one that's forced to play defensively. Now the Oracle is already available. Looks like Haas is actually not gonna use that one just yet. It looks like Time actually, he did not scan the main base, but he does kind of know what the options are. He's expecting at the very least that something comes flying in here, but already, look at that. A Widow Mine will be able to burrow right there in the mineral line here as well. And I think that with this amount of SCVs and with this amount of Marines, yeah, he doesn't even need the SCVs right now. He's just simply going to bully away these Stalkers. Here we go, though. Now with the Marines on the low ground, the Oracles are going to swoop in. Will they be able to see that there is a Widow Mine burrow there? It looks like that's not the case. And immediately, one of the Oracles will end up dying, but still a couple of SCVs as well. At the same time, the Stalkers actually tested the waters once again to see whether or not the Marines evacuated towards the main as well. But now with these SCVs actually coming back up, I don't mind this very much at all for Haas. Once again, he gets a lot of value. At the same time, he's pushing forward right here. The bunker is not done just yet. There's a single Marine in there right now. But this is what I mean, right? Look how quick this decision making is. Siege tank though in the back may very well provide that shelter that Time is looking for. And once again, 9 SCVs go down. Has managed to secure his lead a little bit more, but at the same time, there's now also that Banshee across the map. Oracle was available, so he's going to be able to use Revelation to make sure that he can counter that cloaking research that is now available for the Terran player as well. But so far, I definitely have to hand it right here to Haas. Playing this one super fluently and showing us that playing really aggressive is definitely a viable option. And you can do a lot of things as Protoss outside of just simply, you know, cannon rushes, right? There's a lot of cool aggressive strategies that are viable. But it's just, his decision making is so snappy. It's just so very snappy. Well done. Third Nexus is now coming up. There's a second Banshee moving across the map as well. But I have to say right now, right, this position right here from Time is definitely not bad. Nice little hit squad right here of 2 Oracles actually, and then 2 of these Phoenixes as well. Obviously, these units can just simply be lifted up. And once again, right, this is gonna cost a lot of SCV lives. Still target firing right there, not quite as good as you would have liked it to be right there from Haas. And he is gonna be forced to evacuate on out there. Looks like he's gonna grab just a couple more kills here in the meantime. But there's also still that Banshee on the other side of the map. Is there actually an Oracle nearby for any kind of detection here whatsoever? There are 2 of them, but they're actually with the main army that do not have energy right now for Revelation. And that does mean that this one Banshee from Time is going to be able to pick up kill after kill after kill. Because at this point, there's just simply no detection here available for our Protoss player. Which means, yeah, without Revelation, that the kills here are gonna add up very, very rapidly. Now, obviously, there's a limited amount of energy, but the same can be said there for the shield battery. Shield battery is running out. Revelation will be used, and Time does end up losing that one Banshee, but that was a smart decision there, sneaking that one out. And speaking of sneaking that one out, he's gonna send another one across the map once more. Really impressive response here, though, by Time, right? The way that Haas usually wins games is that he's just gonna try and overwhelm his opponent with just the sheer amount of aggression. And at some point, you're bound to mess up if you are playing against Haas. And if you don't, you're usually in a good spot. But since he just simply piles on the pressure, it's really hard to keep up. But so far, Time has been doing that. Now Haas, though, oof, did he see that little cloak there? Looks like that's not gonna be the case. But there's more than enough energy right now on these Oracles. I don't really know even if he wants to commit. Speaking of commitment though, there's a lot of Stalkers now moving across the map, accompanied with a couple of these Adepts and then these Zealots as well. Banshee though, once again, right, trying to get some kills that will force these Oracles and the Banshees to turn back around, because once again, there's really no reliable cloak other than Revelation. This is a really gateway-focused army, by the way. I'm not entirely sure. Right? Gateway-focused armies can be strong, but I feel like, look at this defensive posture, right? Time completing the wall off right now. Even though Blink is finishing up, there's no denying that this is gonna be a really tough position to break. I guess you can lift up the majority of the siege tanks though and sort of take them out of the equation. Well, only time will tell. Literally. Man, there's a lot of puns to be made about both of these guys' nicknames. Let's just see if he has enough time. Oh my god. I tried. I'll shut up, okay? I'll shut up. Let's just make noises from here on out. I think there's gonna be an aggressive push coming up, so I'll just, you know, do ooh, amazing, whoa. I'll just provide the additional action sounds. Well, I assumed at the very least that there was gonna be aggression, but now with charge already, once again, about halfway done, I don't know if Haas really is gonna commit. I think he shouldn't, to be honest, right? If you look at this, objectively and you wouldn't know the supply counts, I really do feel like, even though Time doesn't have as big of an army, his defensive posture is really sick. Now, Haas has got a fully operational third base. He's just simply, before his opponent even manages to land the fourth, or the third rather, he's gonna grab himself a fourth Nexus. So this is sort of like a soft contain. What he's saying right now is that Time can have the two bases, but he's not gonna allow his opponent to grab that third CC. And while the third command center is obviously already finished, the main is running out of resources. So this is sort of like a soft contain. I really like the way that Haas is approaching StarCraft, man. It's so different than the other top-of-the-line Protoss players, right? Everyone plays super defensively, but he plays it differently. Well, these medevacs, oh man, nice response time there. Almost made me turn into Goofy. No, but that was really critical. If you lose 2 medevacs here, that's like 20 supply worth, right? You can very easily lose the game. But still, right? How are you going to break out? Well, I guess we'll see. The time has come. Literally. He's inching those tanks forward. He really needs to land that command center. That CC has to go down. Widowmine's now making a bit of a move forward here as well. Obviously, Revelation is on them as well. So, you know, there we go. That's a beautiful pick-off right there by Haas. 3 Widowmines for the cost of just 1 Zealot, I believe, is what that was. Still, though, this defensive posture is really crazy, and I don't know if there's really enough right now for the Protoss player to break through. Liberators, siege tanks, as well as, of course, those Widowmines supported by Bio. It's hard to break. Time, very methodically, right? Breaking out of his own natural. I'm actually quite impressed with the way that he's doing this. Now, he needs to go, though, right? Because his main is running low, his natural is very low as well. And now that 4th Nexus has also been confirmed here with a scan from Time. So he knows that he has to commit. Well, here we go. Haas has had enough. He's trying to push forward right now. Still, though, that defensive posture here from Time is absolutely brilliant. Siege tanks as well as Liberators all unsieging right now. They're moving forward towards that third base location. Stim will be activated. A lot of the Zealots are charging forward as well, trying to go after as many of those siege tanks as they possibly can. Still, those Liberators from the sky deal so much damage. And now with those Phoenixes taken out of the equation, the tanks will continue sitting there, and Time manages to confirm that 3rd command center finally. Wonderful job here, but I feel like he already needs to be looking at a 4th command center right now. I don't know if that's gonna be enough, but still, Haas, he wanted to close the game out right there, but Time showing us that he's really, really good at just being patient and slowly and methodically, you know, systematically approaching this game. I really like that. Still, though, even though Haas's army got smashed there, he's now transitioning towards a Templar Archives. He's gonna tech up, go for a more sophisticated army composition, and he's got the economy to actually back it up. So this is 4 base eco here for the Protoss player. Sure, he's behind right now as far as supply goes, but he's gonna be able to produce so much stuff just off of the sheer amount of economy that he's got. Now, all of a sudden, right, rather than going for that 3rd base, Haas has decided to just simply move into, I guess, his opponent's natural, or maybe even the main base. If you manage to get on top of that production, right, you can really shut down a Terran really quickly. Now, speaking of shutting down, that 4th base of Haas will be short-lived, as now that Bio army of Time has approached the other side of the map. You blink twice, the base is gone. At the same time, though, the Zealots and Stalkers are inside of the main base of the Terran player. They're going to be able to shut down that production. All of the units from Time are coming out of these structures over here. At the same time, there are also a couple of Zealots at that 3rd base location. They got rid of that siege tank, and it looks like we are in for a bit of a base trade. All of the probes trying to get away from this location. 39 SCVs, though, have already fallen here, and I think that both players are going to be losing a ton of their economy. The main base now also vulnerable. There's a couple of units here waiting. Storm is available now for Haas. He needs to land a perfect storm if he wants to get rid of all of this Bio army here as well. Still, that's a lot of units here in general. At the same time, though, the probes are evacuating on out of there. It looks like Time has decided he does not want to go in there. Main base of the Terran player is now pretty much completely gone, and the probes apparently have decided that they want to fight, but that's a big hit. 13 additional probes end up dying there. Liberators now also ready to move across the map, and speaking of Liberators, they are now sieging on top of that ramp here of the Protoss player, and even though Storm is available, right, he's being very patient with it. He needs to land a perfect one. That was not a perfect storm, not what he's looking for. EMP will go down. One of the, no, actually, neither of these units running out of energy energy, but still, this is a very large amount of Terran, and I do think that this means that Protoss will end up losing his main base as well. But speaking of losing your main base, Haas has completely demolished his opponent's command centers. Now, Time does still have 1 CC. He's gonna try and land it over at the 3rd base location. He also lifted up one of them and sent it straight towards the middle of the map. Plus, all of the barracks here, they're available too. One Hero High Templar apparently trying to get some more damage done here. But all things considered, right, I don't really mind the position that Time is necessarily in. Sure, he doesn't have as big of an amount of workers anymore as his opponent, and sure, he may not have a massive army here, but at the very least, he's mining, and that's a big deal. Time, though, once again evacuating on out of there. I'm quite surprised with the way that this is going. Apparently, he's feeling that his opponent is very likely to scout that high ground, and indeed, that will be happening here in just a little bit. The command center immediately does get on out of there, and I think that Time may very well be taking control right now of his opponent's main base. All of the pylons were shut down. Neither player is producing. I mean, there's a single Nexus now coming up because apparently Haas did save himself some resources, but neither player really is producing. Now, great storm there. Those storms, man, they can really close this game out very quickly. Beautiful EMP there. Time will be able to pick up one of those ghosts, or at the very least, oh my god, he got an EMP on all of the other ghosts as well. That means that the Bio Army now is way more valuable still. One High Templar coming up with the flank. It is going to be able to not only damage a lot of that Bio, but also kill some of the ghosts, which is critical. But I feel like right now, Time just simply needs to sit back and wait, right? He needs to just simply go back to basics, use the Liberator siege tank composition, and maybe start dropping with some of his Bio Army. Still, though, both players, right, they're going to need supply depots and pylons before they really can start producing anything. Nexus did just finish up. That's still 18 probes here for Haas. Man, this game is wild. I love this. What a crazy game. I would say that Haas is going to be the one more comfortable in this situation, right? But I'm really impressed with the way that Time is approaching this. He does not seem phased whatsoever. Ooh, that one Widow Mine. That's a big one. Oh my god, that's one entire High Templar there. That's a big deal. These High Templar, man, the spellcasters, they become so valuable. So very valuable. Alrighty, so both players are now mining on the other side. Now keep in mind, we have full vision of the map, right? We know how much eco both of these players have. At this point in the game, both of them are still guessing how many bases are actually up and running. Time, though, a little bit worried here. He's not even picking off all of the structures inside of the main base of his opponent. He did just unsiege all of the army, and he's moving across. That's a risky business. Haas did just sneak up a couple of stalkers towards the main base to abuse the high ground there. I really like that decision. Beautiful storms there, once again, softening up so much of this army, but the High Templar are overextending, and I think that is going to be the last storm for now. Probes already once again evacuating on out of there. And a lot of this army will be picked off. The Zealots and the Adepts, right, desperately running for their lives, but Time gets a lot of this value here. I really like this. Now, I'm a little worried about this, right? Haas, he's given up the Nexus once again, but it does look like Time doesn't want to fight the Nexus right now. He wants to straight up fight the army. And Bio is so very good because you can continuously stim with this amount of Medivacs. Right, every single time we look at this, a couple of Protoss units end up dying. Nexus now will be retaken, though, on where the natural was located previously. One Liberator apparently sieging up, not killing anything, but it's okay. It's just there for stall points, which is very important as well. There's not a lot of SCVs anymore, right? Time's still trying to produce some units here and there, but he needs himself another depot, and that means that these probes will have to go back to mining once again. Nexus, though, has now been retaken, right? So even though both players are pretty much all over the map, Haas is the one who once again seems to be in control of this. Right? Sure, he ended up losing a couple units here and there, but he's running his opponent around, and while he's doing this, he's getting himself another base up, which I really, really quite like. I feel like he can just power up these structures over here once again, right, and have a decent amount of production. Not bad at all. As soon as these probes manage to return these minerals, it's going to be pretty sick. Still, that's a lot of Zealots that are being picked off all the time. Right? A lot of these Zealots are going down continuously. Stalkers, though, maneuvering around the map. Both players are microing so many units. So difficult to pull off. Now, here's what I'm worried about. Haas is gonna lose this Nexus, but it does mean that Time is all the way on the other side of the map. And that obviously means that these Protoss units are gonna be able to go to town right here on that production of the Terran player. And once again, right, the orbital command will be evacuated on out of there. Will it start burning? There we go. Time is gonna be forced to drop an orbital command, I guess, or a mule rather, to try and get this one up. Otherwise, the command center will burn down. There's one barracks here in the corner of the map. That CC's number of days are lived. The probes are going around everywhere. Both players trying to figure out what's going on. Time will be revealed here in just a little bit. Still though, there's that one barracks here on the right-hand side of the map, and there's still a lot of bio army here available for Time. He does not have a lot, but he does have, you know, that one unit over here. And that structure will not be picked off. This is the last structure here from Time. If that dies, this is game over. If that dies, this is game over. Army supply-wise though, Time is twice the amount of supply as his opponent. He does not have the minerals to remake a command center, so that is out of the question. There has been another Nexus that's now built in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Time's still scouting around, right? Trying to figure out what his opponent is doing. And I think he needs to build a pylon over there, right? The Nexus will be killed. That's really nicely done. If Haas manages to power up that Stargate and go for, like, I don't know, one Phoenix, he will literally be able to kill that barracks and win the game. That's all he needs to do right now. Pylon is coming up. Haas is indeed doing that. He's powering up his old structures. He does know right now, obviously, with that revelation, where the last of the structures of this Terran player are at. So all he's doing right now is buying time here with the Stalkers. Time, he's trying to run around, right? He's trying to figure out where the opposing bases are. He's checked out so much. Once again, sending out the Liberators on a bit of a loop-de-loop around the main. He's not suspecting that his opponent would retake the natural, but this is where Haas has been mining for literally minutes now. Time is gonna figure that out in just a little bit, but already a Void Ray is coming up here. The probes are gonna scramble away. They're gonna be evacuating on out of there already, though. Another Nexus has been built right now on the other side of the map, so Haas is saving up those resources, those precious resources. A Void Ray is coming out in just a little bit. A Void Ray is coming out in just a little bit. Chrono Boost is being activated. As long as he manages to kill that barracks, this is game over. Right, the Stalkers are getting close to it as well. Revelation is available, and there is the Void Ray. Prismatic Alignment will be activated, and I think that Time will end up losing his last structure. Haas showing us why he is such a monster at dealing with these awkward, unorthodox scenarios. From start to finish, this was a weird game, and while I actually thought that Time had it in the bag for a little bit there, Haas recognizing the situation, I feel like minutes before his opponent did, right? Playing Ring Around the Rosie with those Stalkers, buying so much time, retaking his natural expansion, which when you think about it was already pretty much mined out, so you wouldn't really expect that to be the case. Man, that was awesome. That was a really, really sick game. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below, okay? Do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're new, I upload Monday through Saturday. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. A special shout out to all of the Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for keeping this channel going with all of the fresh content. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you once again in the next one.